talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, big show coming your way tonight, as always. And I tell you what, summer has hit in a big way. The warm temperatures are here. The water temperature is increasing and adds maybe a sniff of kingfish and tuna out the front.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, listen, I would be looking.
No, there's people talking about it.
Yeah, no, well, I'd be going out there and looking if that was me.
I saw a photo the other day of kingfish with the San Remo Bridge in the background.
Yeah, I also heard there was a few rats cruising around the Crib Point jetty as well.
Really?
So, yeah, sounds as though things are happening. Charlie, how are the kingies up your way in Shepparton?
Well, there's been a bit of migration up the Murray River. They can't get above the wall into Mulwala, but I reckon we can give them a go for it, do a bit of jig and stuff like that for them.
How is the freshwater scene looking though, Charlie?
Is it
Pretty good. Yeah,
Fishing good?
Yeah, no, it's been excellent.
Yep.
Really good. Water conditions are right. Like you say, Dave, some of these warmer days and that type of thing, we've had some magic weather.
Nice.
Eildon, the Goulburn, the Murray's been fishing well. It's been really, really good.
Have they, you know, the annual event of water managers cocking up the flow down the Goulburn River?
Yep.
Has that started yet?
Not yet.
What are they? Is it environmental flows or is it inter-valley transfer? Which one?
It's the inter-valley transfer. So
That really stuffs
the
things up.
environmental flows have been going on for quite some time, but
Yeah.
they don't want to change their regime. And now we've got the inter-valley transfers, which come and bridge the flow of the environmental flows.
So that hasn't Goulburn flowing nicely at the moment.
Yeah, it hasn't been stuffed up yet.
Yeah.
They'll wait for the holiday season, Dave.
Wait for a bit.
Wait till
for the
everyone's up
holiday
there
season.
on their camping trips and all that.
Yeah.
Isn't it remarkable that everywhere's booked out? I mean,
Oh, it's
people
incredible.
are talking about going away, and we're only 9 days or whatever it is away from Christmas, or 10 days. So many people going away, but so many people saying, no, I've got to stay home because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You can't get
Yeah, booked out.
accommodation.
That's
and
right.
Yeah, correct.
It's going to be a big year for, I guess, fishing and camping, isn't it, this summer?
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of day trip and 2 day trips are going to be on the cards just with the lack of accommodation around. And I think there's going to be a lot of campsites that are going to be chock-a-block too.
That's right. You can go to Queensland, but you're going to get blown out and washed over the...
Yeah.
What is going on up there? I know.
No,
it's only a matter of time, I think, we get our first photo for Catch of the Week of a kingfish. Now,
Yep.
we've only got one show left, by the way, people at home. One show left, which is next week. And then we have about a 5-week break, I think. And normally the tennis and the cricket's on. Well, the cricket's on. I don't think the tennis is. Can you tell? I know we're getting off subject here. Tell me this: how can on Christmas Eve, carols by candlelight at the Myer Music Bowl, no crowds allowed? 2 days later, 30,000 people are allowed in the Boxing Day test.
Well, a
why?
lot can change in 2 days, Dave. I think we've learnt that throughout the course of this year.
right.
We're getting in early, and we're making sure that everyone can enjoy the cricket.
Why are we sitting so far apart?
And I think they're banging it on the Christians, aren't they? I mean, Christianity's been around a lot longer than tennis.
What, Charlie? Why are we sitting so far
Well,
apart?
it was funny. I
don't know.
was watching
Talk to Red
our
Man.
little intro video on the monitor we've got in the studio here, and there was a little snippet there, and we were all so close together. It seemed awkward.
Well, now we're 152 centimetres apart, apparently, we've got to be. So, anyway, folks, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
All right, bit of a variety this week. Not a lot of fish. Well, not a lot of photos sent in this week. It's been blowing.
windy.
It's been blowing.
Yeah.
And there's
hasn't
been
it?
a lot of weirdo forecasts where it's forecast to blow 20 knots and
Yeah.
it blows for a little bit and then drops out to 0 and then it blows again a bit after that. It's hard to plan anything the last week.
It's a monster season for King George Whiting in Western Port. And let's kick it off with Linda Stewart, a lovely, good size King George Whiting from Western Port. Well done to Linda.
Yep, nice fish.
I know Captain Steve Johnson from Ace Fishing Charters has been doing very, very well on the whiting. So getting lots of them. But a lovely photo out of Steve this week of Rod Grace. Have a look at this, a rock flathead out of Hastings. They don't
A Rocky.
get much bigger than that in
How can you tell a Rocky apart from the others?
Didn't we talk about this the other week? That they've got like yellowy fins and very
dark, isn't it?
dark. And
They love it. They love plastics too.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Steve on the show to talk about rock flathead.
Yeah, why not?
People talk about their eating qualities.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I've never eaten one, I don't think.
Duskies, yank, sand. I don't know that I could say
Tigers.
of tigers. Yeah, I'm
And
not
what was
sure
that
about
one?
a
That was
rock flathead,
A rock flathead.
Rocky.
which are caught in Western Port a lot.
Yeah. Well, get one. Bring it in. Cook it up.
Could you do a
Can't be
cooking
that-
segment?
I could.
I saw it.
We're working on something.
I saw a draft.
We're working on something.
I mean, Kara has been fantastic, and by the way, Kara, I think, is joining us in the studio next week.
Nice.
Not to cook, but just be part of it, you know. But I did see a draft of a Trelly's How You Don't Cook Fish cooking episode today. Anyway, it's coming. Better get back onto here. Elizabeth Island's been on fire.
It has.
Absolutely on fire on that Coronella side of Western Port. Jacob Bett got a lovely 22.8
Whoa.
kilo school
Wow.
shark from Elizabeth Island. Well done, Jacob.
Yeah.
That's a good effort because they're notorious at biting everyone off at that size.
Really? Yeah, right. That's a great fish, isn't it? Look at that. That's a fish.
Land-based calamari fishing, I think.
We've spoken about this area
now
for
this-
land-based calamari the last couple of weeks.
Old mate keeps sending
Hotspots
us in
there, Dave.
photos. Yeah. Noel Stewart, have a look at this. Calamari Cleland bite.
Nolsey. Oh, they're not small.
What do you reckon, Charlie?
Well, yeah, how do they go in the kayak ads? I mean, you just rip them out of the water and stick them in the bottom of the kayak with
This
you?
bloke's
This
land-based.
is land-based.
He actually has
Yeah,
a
I know.
stance. If we can keep that photo up there for a minute. He looks a bit like Dave Sullivan off the Sullivans, doesn't he?
No,
Do you reckon?
no idea who you're talking about, Dave.
I think it was on before you were born.
No idea.
Anyway, he,
Nolsey,
kitty.
good squid.
Yeah.
And yes, very easy to do off the kayak there, Charlie.
Yeah, but you just dump
Thanks for
them in-
asking, mate.
Dump them in the bottom of your
nice
shorty.
fish. Let's head over to Port Phillip now, and Jason Turner, Pro Red Fishing Charters, has been doing so well on the snapper, and he had customer Ronnie out during the week. Have a look at this for a lovely snapper.
There's a good
Beautiful colour.
Ronnie?
So.
Yeah, it's a good red.
I thought Ronnie was a guy name, but Ronnie's obviously a girl name too. Very nice done, Ronnie. Nice fish.
Good fish.
fish.
Great fish.
Yep. Lovely.
All right, let's go inland.
Oh,
Let's go inland. I can't believe
Oh,
it
yeah.
that
Where we go?
the stonkers are still around.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant.
Oh, yeah, well into summer.
Have the stonkers been the greatest success story
It's easy for him to say.
of 2020?
Yes.
I mean, even though trout season didn't open, but they
Yeah.
got put in all these lakes.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was such a
Told no
success.
one. For starters.
So have a look at this. Frankie got a 75 centimetre stonker
Stonky.
at Yarrambat Lake. Now, I'm tipping Frankie was that excited at catching that stonker, he rolled around in the mud. He rolled around in the mud and he forgot to wash it off the fish.
That's a big
That's it.
trout. That's a real big trout.
Yeah.
Well done, Frankie.
Good on you,
Yarrambat.
Frank.
I love blokes that roll around in the mud
Yeah.
after celebrating their catch.
You know, they do it like deer. You know, mark their territory. They roll around.
I knew it, Frankie. Now, this one.
Oh, where is this place?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we're going to ask
the
Charlie, I
proper-
think. But
what's the proper
there's a
pronunciation?
story to this one. All right, boys. So here it goes. So now, we're talking before the show about, I'll say Peter Jose, and you will say
Peter Jose.
Jose. So we're a little bit apart there. But can we show Peter's photo while I read the story? Please find attached photo of the Murray cod, and he'll write back to us whether it's Jose or Jose. I caught last week. I've been camping and fishing in the Murrabit Kundruk area for over 30 years. This is the first Murray cod I've caught. Charlie, where is Murrabit / Kundruk? Where's that?
Oh, look, you've
don't
actually,
know either.
you've actually
Stumped
just caught me off
Stumped
guard
you.
here a little bit. I reckon it's Murrabit Kundruk. Kundruk is
Siri.
could be in New South Wales, I reckon.
All right, we're going to ask Siri. We're not going to do it now, but after the break, we're going to ask Siri where is Kundruk. Right, now here's this. I remembered a previous show.
Yep.
I remembered a previous show where you were reminiscing about how good the old Jarvis Walker Black Queen fishing
hello.
rods were. I caught this beauty. We can put another photo of him up if we want. I caught this beauty on my Black Queen Deluxe, matched with an old Abu Garcia spinning reel, 15-pound mainline, 20-pound leader, and a size 4 bait holder hook baited with a small yabby. I was lucky. It was hooked to the outside corner of the mouth, and it held for the 20-minute fight. Sorry, I can't give you dimensions. I was in a hurry to return it to the creek. Estimated to be at least a metre and around 20 pound plus. The property owner was pleased as it showed that the quality of the system has returned to pre-Blackwater event quality.
Put that on number 4 hook.
Yeah.
It's a great effort.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Well, that's what happens up there.
And a black queen.
Yeah, black. Those things are just
load
like
for
a bit of
days.
spaghetti, aren't they?
Load for days.
Who goes fishing for cod with a black queen?
Yeah, it's a good effort.
Do you know who? Peter does.
Yeah.
Big Pete.
All right. We're getting the hurry on here. Charlie Hayek. Have a look at this lovely 42 centimetre yellow from Murchison. I know a lot of people that fish at Murchison and just going great guns. If you would like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do, Charlie.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
Unfortunately, we've got a couple of Collingwood supporters that do watch the show, and if they can reach out to Chloe Malloy, we need to get her out fishing, get and re-film that little bit because she's a champion.
She's a champion.
That was a few years ago. So coming up next, fisheries news, including where the golden tag captures have been this year. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See you down at Tackle World today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
I tell you what, some news tonight, boys.
Ooh, hello.
Nah, this is good. No, all good.
All good.
I don't think there's anything bad tonight.
Yeah, what's something wrong?
So,
Well, surely someone's
I
had a
might
bag
be.
somewhere and got caught.
there might, actually there is. Yeah, there is something nice. Yeah. No, this is good. This is a good one. This we're going to show you in a minute where all the golden tag fish have been caught. You know, the big comp.
Yep.
But there's lots of fish around. And Gavin Duckett, I'll tell you what, he's been a winner. You might have missed out on a holiday earlier this year, but Gavin certainly didn't miss out on his recent trip to Bem River, leaving $2,000 richer.
Nice.
Gavin, his partner, and I'm going to read this whole story because it's a great story. Gavin, his partner, and a group of friends had a holiday booked for Easter to try and land a golden tagged fish, but their plans were halted as Victoria tackled the coronavirus.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep. Vaguely.
So as soon as they got together and reorganised the trip, heading down for a long weekend. On the first afternoon, they hired some boats from Dave at Bem River Holiday Accommodation and Boat Hire and fished off a small beach in Sydenham Inlet. And our man Gav reeled in a nice 30-centimetre bream. Now, this is something we talked about. He saw a tag on it and it was covered in algae. So what people have got to remember is that these fish have been in the water probably since January, February when they were tagged.
Yep.
And that tag will be covered in algae. There's no doubt about it. But the fish were on the bite, so he put in the keeper net to take a closer look at later. A new golden tag started earlier in the year, and that's part of why he wanted to go there. But I honestly hadn't thought about it until I saw the fish, he said. When he finally got back there, a friend spotted a phone number on the tag. They cleaned it up a bit more, and it read VFA winner. Gav jumped on the phone to call the catch in, and they enjoyed a drink in the late afternoon sun on the beach, basking in the golden tag glory. It goes on.
It's code for getting blind.
No. Yeah, listen to this. The celebrations didn't end there. That night, the crew went to the Bem River Hotel and Gav shouted them all a 3-course dinner and drinks. The staff at the pub even got in contact with us via Facebook to thank them for their support and said it was easily their best tab for the night.
How good's that?
So that $2,000 just
had a
popped
crack.
right in.
Straight across the bar.
Well done, Gav. Great news. So
Nice
that
one,
is
Gav.
what golden tag is all about. Now, have a look. Here's the map, boys, of where all the tagged fish have been caught.
Okay, so she's really fairly widespread.
Absolutely. One at Portland. It doesn't tell you
Yeah.
how many, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Big spread, isn't it?
And there's still plenty more out there.
Yeah,
When does it go
where's
through
the,
to?
Well, I
where's
think
the map with the fish that haven't been caught? You should have the map with the fish that haven't been
I haven't
caught.
got that.
When's it-
I think
yeah.
he was number 57 from memory. I did see the photo.
How
We
long
didn't
does
have
the comp go for, though?
that forever?
Oh, and just until they're all caught?
Oh, really?
Till
Nice.
Travis's
I thought it had
budget runs out. Or
that's
expiry
right.
date.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Perhaps it's Trav's expiry date.
Do you know what? Trav will probably actually report in when it finishes. Can I ask you where Kundruk is?
I can, because
Travis wrote in about that
speaking
too.
of- yeah,
Travis
so-
actually is our
yeah,
informer
so
on the show.
Travis
Head of
Siri,
Fisheries.
Informer.
Travis Siri Dowling,
Seriously.
he got in contact
Where's
with
Kundruk?
us. So Kundruk is on the Murray near Kahuna,
Where's Kahuna?
20 k's from Kerrang.
Where's Kerrang?
Trally?
It's between Echuca and Mildura.
There you go. It's between
There you
Echuca and
go.
Mildura, and I know where
Right.
both of those places
If we
are.
could buy the next break, Travis Dowling, the
Oh,
head
and,
of
no, hang on, he's all over it. No, Trav goes on to say that the competition goes until December 31, 2021.
Does Travis watch this show?
He must be watching
He's-
something.
Travis
Can't
Siri Dowling.
believe the power
Good on you,
of-
Trav. Thanks, mate. Getting us out of trouble
power of
there.
what's going on there.
Power
Head
of
of
the media.
Fisheries. Just there to fill it. He's a bit like, oh, you wouldn't know, Pete Smith on Sail of the Century. You know, he was the man. John Blackman on Hey Eight Saturday. You know, he's the
Knee.
man behind the Dickie Knee. He's just giving us the information. I'll tell you what.
yeah,
All
December
right, let's keep
2021.
going on. Have a look at these fishing platforms, Trelly. You know about this. Thanks to your fishing licence fees, and you're on the committee, Trelly. Work's continuing to develop a top urban fishery in Melbourne's eastern suburbs. Knox City Council scored a rec fishing grant to build new fishing platforms at Ferntree Gully's Quarry Lake, and as you can see, they're being put to good use. The former quarry is up to 11 metres deep and has been stocked with a wide variety of fish in the past 18 months, including stonker rainbow trout in recent weeks to on-grown cod and yellows and even Aussie bass fingerlings. The stocking mix of trout and native fish will provide year-round fishing opportunities, with the cooler months better suited to trout, summer better for native fish. And the platforms are good to go. There's plenty of great spots, so try your
at
luck.
that.
Yep. It's
How
good
good's
little
that?
walking. Yeah, it's really good because it's
Great
good little
little
walking
Nice big open area.
paths around there. No kayaking. Kayaking's banned.
Not yet.
That's right.
Not yet.
No,
Trav.
that's kayaking's all
Those
right.
platforms, they had little rod holders in them and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. There was this one bad news story. I think that's the only bad news story we've got. Yep.
Was that abalone or?
No, snapper.
Oh, yeah. All right.
The red tide is here. We've seen plenty of snapper caught in our bays and offshore lately. But while many are out enjoying a season on the snapper, we need to ensure everyone's doing the right thing to look after our great fishery. Fisheries officers recently responded to a 1-3 fish call. So 1-3 fish is the number if you see something that's a bit dodgy, which led them to a man with, have a look at this, the photo on your screen, 17 undersized snapper ranging 19 to 24 centimetres and one undersized wrasse. Now this was down at the Lee Breakwater in Portland, so it doesn't matter where you are, you've got to do the right thing.
What do you have? 17 to 24. So do you let all the big ones go?
Remember, the minimum size for snapper is 28 centimetres and the bag limit is 10, of which no more than 3 fish can be equal to or greater than 40 centimetres. At this time of year, Portland Bay is a nursery ground for small snapper, so it's important they return to the water quickly, and that guy just did the wrong thing. He'll get a fine of $660 for taking more than the catch limit and taking undersized fish. Thank you to the people who called 1-3 fish, and we encourage others to do the same if they see something that is just not right.
Well, it's
There you
obviously was obvious. Otherwise, they wouldn't have called 1-3 fish to
Yeah,
sort
that's
of do
right.
that.
Clearly not the
Otherwise,
first
it was a legitimate mistake. You just sort of go.
Who would have a bucket sitting next to them with fish like that anyway? But anyway.
Perhaps someone with a broken ruler.
Yeah.
Makes
All
sense.
right. This is exciting news. This only came in today. This is pretty good news. Gippsland Lakes, this is the headline. Gippsland Lakes gets first ever estuary perch stocking. The tributaries of the Gippsland Lakes have been stocked with estuary perch for the first time as part of an ambitious plan to return the iconic waterways to a recreational fishing mecca. Minister for Fishing and Boating Melissa Horne said the stocking of 200,000 estuary perch was a key action in the Gippsland Lakes Recovery Fishery Plan. The 200,000 estuary perch were stocked into the Tambo, Mitchell, Avon and Latrobe rivers, all tributaries of the Gippsland Lakes. The end of commercial net fishing in the region earlier this year paved the way for recreational fishing improvements such as stocking and upgrading of fish habitat. The perch fingerlings are each 2 centimetres long and will take about 3 years to reach the minimum size of 27 centimetres.
How good is that?
Yeah, it's
That
not
is
long.
good.
Really, it's not long.
No, not at all.
No.
thought it'd be longer than that.
That's pretty good, eh? That they could do that because you couldn't do it when there was commercial netting. You can't
right.
stock and then have them netted.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
so
right.
brilliant.
And it's part of that the whole system is like get rid of netters and restock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now just a little one. The Murray Codference Trolley.
Yep.
Postponed till March, April 2021. Yep. It's an annual gathering that celebrates all things Murray cod and native fish. It's held in Shepparton. It's now entering its 5th year. The free event boasts a feature-packed program of Murray cod themes, news and fishing techniques. So keep an eye on the VFA social media, but it has been postponed. Normally it would be held in December.
Correct.
It has been postponed till March or April 2021. There you go.
We're just trying to get some dates there that'll sort of
Lock it in.
Lock it in because we want to sort of try and avoid some of the other dates that have been
Easter
taken up as
and
one
long
of the,
weekend
one of
and
the
that.
things.
Yeah.
But some great subjects will come up in that. I saw a bit of a discussion the other day, and I'll probably talk about turn here, but some of the things that come across the discussion were some really good subjects. So keep an eye for that. It'll be really good.
Yeah, that's good. And it's still a good time of year for cod fishing too, isn't it? So
Oh,
if people want to
absolutely,
go up there and have a fish for the weekend up in Murch or
That's right,
the Goulburn through Shepparton and places like that. They
exactly.
can, and then go to the conference probably on the Sunday. So
That's right.
Keep an eye out for those dates. Coming up next, product of the week, and we're back in the kitchen with Cara next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now, for me personally, this is one of the most exciting product of the week segments we've had all season because this is one I hold very close to my heart. Squidgies are back in a massive, massive way.
You're excited.
I am excited because I learnt how to fish soft plastics on squidgies.
Yep.
I've easily caught more fish on squidgies than every other plastic combined, and it's just really, really cool to see it reinvented a little bit. They haven't had to do too much to the tails because, in my opinion, they're already perfect, but the colours now are easily the best on the market. Easily. Check this out. I'm just going to wipe some of the
What's that?
goodness
Has
off
it got
there.
salt on it?
It's got salt on it. So this is bio salt, and this helps with the scent, but also taste of the lures. So a little bit of something. Now, the bio salt's nothing new. They've just refined that a little bit, made it a little bit extra tasty. This is a 150 mil fish. Now, 150 mil fish in the past has been basically 2 colours only, and it was a little bit of a let's just make a big paddle tail.
Hang on, that looks like a real pilchard.
Have a look at that. Now, the good thing that's happened with plastics is bigger plastics are now very, very popular for many, many species.
They are.
That is the greatest pilchard representation of any soft plastic I've ever seen.
That is amazing.
Snapper, there's kingfish out the front.
Can you imagine the dusky flathead in Lake Tyers? Like, I think if someone like the head of Fisheries, Travis Dowling, is that, he would actually be in with a chance to catch a flathead in Lake Tyers.
This is how good these plastics are getting. So now bear in mind, I'm just going to highlight a few of the colours that really appeal to our saltwater fishery. There are some phenomenal colours that I haven't brought in because there's too many to show. But that pilchard pattern in 150 mil fish, that 150 mil fish also comes in a complete colour range now, not just the 2 colours of the old black and gold and drop bear that used to exist. So that's that one.
You know John Soldatis?
I do know John Soldatis.
He's our bait supplier. Now, he's Greek. He used to be, I don't know if you knew, Charlie, but he used to be the Prime Minister of Greece.
Oh, okay.
And he's now a bait supplier, but he would actually eat that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He might even use one day.
Wouldn't
No,
even fill it.
he wouldn't even put a jig head through it. He would eat it. Anyway, back to you.
So that's 150 mil fish. This is the 160 mil wriggler, and that is a red bait pattern.
No way.
So that's right, a red bait pattern in a soft plastic. So again, for snapper, mulloway, flathead,
If you get a decent hook through it, tuna.
100%. So that's the red bait in the 160mm wriggler, and they still, again, the colours flow through. Now, actually, I'll wait till the end to say that. And there's also
I'm going to lick the salt in a minute.
And there's
you know,
also
when you're at a restaurant and there's a bit of salt,
it.
you just lick it and you go, I'm going to do that in a minute.
So there's also the 140mm wriggler, and that is the white bait.
No way.
That's nice. Now, from your traditional colouring range, where it was sort of like an Aussie thing, it was like black and white, red, green, and all that type of thing. These, what would you call that? Pad printing? Is it like a pad printing?
Yeah, they've somehow been able
Not
to.
the rubber in a mould. This is properly printed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of things that I want to say. So, 150 fish, 160 and 140mm wriggler.
Yep.
They're the only three tails at the moment with the new colours, and not every the colour ranges vary
so that
depending on the
fish
tail.
isn't in a different size. It's only in the 150.
That's right, and that pilchard pattern is only in the 150mm fish.
Yeah,
Hey Shimano, if you're listening,
they will be.
I would love to see a pilchard in this, and I would also like to request that these incredible patterns and colours make their way into some of the amazingly good plastics you've had in the past, like the flick bait.
You know, the drop bear pattern used to be my favourite.
Yeah.
Used to be.
And on the flathead, that drop bear pattern still will be, and it is still part of this current new wave of squidgy plastics. This genuinely excites me because
what about a silver whiting? You threw a lot of bait with silver whiting.
The only reason I would say we may or may not see a silver whiting. Is there any other part of the country that uses silver whiting as a bait?
I'm not sure there is.
Who cares?
Well, Charlie, they used to do 160mm flick bait, I think, in a colour called lemon chicken, which was massively popular on snapper, and I reckon that was why. It was the closest thing to a silver whiting colouring that you could get. But this opens up the doors for so many possibilities for squidgy. It's great to see them back in a big way with some exciting colour ranges, and this is going to grow again.
Perhaps we'll do a silver whiting between us.
I reckon we can make that happen.
That is sensational.
What natural colour would you like to see in a squidgy? Jump on Facebook or whatever it is and throw some suggestions.
Amy Day, I know, is watching and from
She'll
work.
have a suggestion.
She'll probably be writing right now, typing in what species. No.
What about a
bunny
Murray
tonight,
cod
anyway.
pattern in 150mm fish?
I know. Or a spotted dog for the trout up at trout trattler up at Ilden.
Oh, Charlie, that'd be big time. Imagine that 160mm wriggler in a.
No, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Watch out. We've opened a can of worms here, Dave.
That's salt in a minute.
Yep.
All right, let's head into the kitchen now. I tell you what, talking to snapper, this is an amazing recipe. Let's head to Cara in the kitchen.
The festive season is well and truly here. So keeping in theme, I'm going to bake this delicious looking snapper, and we're going to make it shine with a delicious mint pistachio and lime pesto. To make our pesto, we'll either need a food processor or a blender. 1/3 of a cup of pistachio kernels into here and a cup of fresh mint leaves. We'll give this a quick blitz and then we can add the other ingredients. So what we're after is this beautiful crumb consistency. Now back on, we're going to add to this a teaspoon of salt, a squeeze of half of a lime, and then whilst we're blending, we're going to add our olive oil. The pesto has come together lovely. It's a gorgeous sort of paste-like texture, and it's enough that we can spread it over our fish. So we're ready to coat our snapper, so just make sure that they are descaled and have been cleaned. In this cavity, I'm going to put a bunch of the mint leaves and some slices of lime. This will help the flavours penetrate through. Now on both sides of our fish, I've made 2 incisions, and in here is where we're going to put our pesto. So we're just going to squeeze it in here, and then we'll repeat on the other side as well. The snapper is almost ready to go into the oven, so I've laid him out on some foil and some baking paper just to help stop him sticking and to evenly help with cooking. I'm just going to massage over the skin a little more of that pesto, just so we've got a nice coating of oil all over, and I have done the underneath as well. So we're going to wrap the fish, bringing together the two outer edges and fold them over each other. And then each end we're going to lightly close, but just making sure that it's well and truly sealed so that all the moisture and all the flavours are going to stay within our little parcel. And we're going to put this snapper into a hot oven of 180 for at least 30 to 40 minutes. Just taken our snapper out of the oven. I've had it in there for 35 minutes. So we'll see if it is cooked. Just be careful as you peel the foil. We don't want to peel off the skin with it. Smells out of this world. Oh, all those beautiful juices are all savoured and inside. Okay, I think we can plate up. So the snapper is the absolute star of this dish. Kept it simple with some fresh leafy greens and some beautiful cherry truss tomatoes. Now this is going to be a real showstopper on your Christmas table.
Now, Cara is a representative of the Women in Recreational Fishing Network. Get onto their social media page if you want to be a part of it. But absolutely outstanding job. Next week, I've had a sneak preview. It's amazing. But Cara's going to come in next week.
And cook it?
No, I don't think so. But no, it's already done. But you boys, you're a bit cruel. Like you say, when she's unfolding that foil, you go, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if it came out all burnt?" You know, right? You guys, you're cruel. I'm going to get you to say some of the things to Cara next week.
No, Cara will be able to hear the commentary live.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
No one else will, but Cara will.
Yeah, we'll get her on the show anyway next week and have a
We'll
chat.
apologise now.
Coming up next, Kramer's mailbag. Plenty more on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsling's Tackle World Cranbourne.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
God help us if we ever have the microphones on during the break.
Oh,
Yeah, never happened before.
ratings would go through the roof.
Did happen once. Anyway, mailbag. There's some unbelievable things happening. I tell you guys, and Cara is looking forward to coming in.
Nice.
Because some of the stuff that you did say about her cooking while that was playing, she'll hear next week.
All
properly.
amazing things, Cara.
Amazing things. But anyway, all right. This one here. You may recall. Let's show a photo of Avalon boat ramp. Now, I think that was only 2 weeks ago. A water tanker backed down,
That's right.
snapped the ramp in half.
Yep.
Then someone put rocks and a sign up and said closed. It got raised on Talking Fishing, right? Have a look at the next photo. It shows it even worse. Now, I didn't realise what the ramp design was, but you can from the next photo you're going to see. But I got this email from Better Boating Victoria and how they have changed. I'm not allowed to say it, but funny how when you get rid of the CEO and get a new person in, that things just change, right?
Snap.
And that the reaction to Talking Fishing and Kramer's mailbag and what's happened is today, have a look at this. The City of Greater Geelong and Better Boating Victoria teamed up, and I've got to say the City of Greater Geelong has been absolutely fantastic on this, but they started today demolishing that. Let's have a look through some of the photos. Gone.
Yep.
And I reckon tomorrow a new boat ramp will be put in.
Nice.
How good is that?
Yeah, good work. Stop those waste.
I reckon that would have taken 2 years under the
Look at that! Look at the
previous,
dark shadow in the water. It looks like there's something decent.
Yeah, white pointer or something like that. Yeah. But seriously, when in the history of boating in Victoria does a boat ramp get broken and then gets replaced 2 weeks later? Never. So I'm just saying, Better Boating Victoria is in good hands. There's some very good plans.
Hang on a second. Was that a positive boat ramp mailbag?
Yeah.
Oh,
Set the bar pretty high.
it has been a weird year, Charlie.
That's never happened before on Talking Fishing.
Very
A
high, that
positive Better Boating Victoria mailbag. So anyway, there you go. Oh, this isn't too good.
Do I just speak too early?
No.
Now, we're going to show, this has been on the last couple of weeks too. Let's have a look at the photo. This is Anthony's nose in Dramana. Get a phone call from the Premier's office today because they get a little bit angry about some of these things. When Delp,
that's right. I remember this one.
in December, decide to close the entire car park of a boat ramp.
That's right.
Right, to do some work. We don't know what work. Well, the Premier's office ring today and go, David, we feel this is critical. We've been told that it's critical dredging work. And I said, Bull, I said, I don't think there's any critical dredging work in that area of Anthony's Nose. I heard it was beach renourishment, and I cannot imagine why that would be so important that you have to close an entire boat ramp down in December. Now, Dramana is the very first caravan park, foreshore caravan park to open up on the peninsula. It's already full, and those people can't go there. And
how long are they planning on being there? The whole?
Oh, just the whole of summer.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So not, it's a bit like, who would be silly enough to close Hastings boat ramp and rebuild it in snapper season. But anyway, I did read today that Delp, they are also doing another project similar down on Mount Martha Beach, and they're running the trucks up and down the beach, moving the sand, right?
Yep.
Reckon that'd be a safety issue in December? Yeah, you know what? WorkSafe came in today, WorkSafe came in the last few days and shut the whole thing down and said, you're not doing this. You are not running trucks up and down. Wouldn't you think if this is the same person in Delp? Seriously, someone needs to be removed from their job in Delp because Delp is an absolute failure. They're meant to be public servants and they are not serving the public. Doing beach renourishment, closing off boat ramps in summer, in boating season, in beach season, someone needs to have a good look at themselves in the mirror and go, I'm not suited to this job. That's all I'll say. Like, it's just ridiculous.
They've got to use soft
The
tyres.
Premier's office is now going back to Delp
beach.
to go, what is the critical work? I want to know what's the critical work that you need to shut down a boat ramp. And unbelievable. All right, this one here comes from Ray. Ray says, wouldn't it make so much sense if I think this was in the relation to the brim consultation.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he goes, wouldn't it make sense if the minimum size for all fish was 30 centimetres? It would save confusion and ignorance. Really, who needs a 21 centimetre salmon or a 27 centimetre whiting or a 28 centimetre snapper? 30 centimetres across the board, simple.
Bit small for cod.
Bit big for mullet.
Bit big for garfish.
Yep.
Bit big for calamari.
Bit big for pufferfish.
But the sentiment of what he's saying is pretty spot on if you think about it.
I think Ray's got it wrong.
No, but the sentiment, Dave, it is wrong. You can't do it.
You can't do it.
But what he's saying for the species that you can take, so is the legal size limit for a King George whiting too small?
Yep.
The minimum size, is it too small? 27 or
27, I think it is. Yeah.
Is it too small? How many 27 centimetre whiting have you
We
caught?
don't catch them anymore, that small.
No, but you've caught plenty in the past.
Yeah.
Is it worth taking a fillet from a 27 centimetre whiting?
Exactly.
It's not. But the one thing I can say, it is a great debate to have because at least we can be confident in saying in Victoria that the rules are based on science, not just a 27 will take it.
No, that's exactly right. And so you couldn't, people do want to catch a 28 centimetre snapper. They're the land-based anglers, maybe off a pier.
Yeah, that's right.
That want to get a little feed.
Yeah.
Unlike that guy that had 19 to 24 centimetre fish and took way too many.
missed the mark.
But Ray, no.
Ray, I understand what you're saying, and to an extent I agree, but unfortunately it's not that simple.
No. All right, this one is from Jack.
Jack
writes in.
What's he got to say?
Well, this is up your neck of the woods almost, Trelly. I'm writing in to address the recent announcement of no more camping on the foreshore. Is there parts of government that don't want people to have fun? Right?
Yes.
I'm writing in to address the recent announcement of no more camping on the foreshore of the Delatite arm of Lake Eildon. Goulburn Murray Water made this announcement on Wednesday the 25th of November in the Alexandra Standard newspaper. These changes enforce camping only above the high water mark. The Delatite Arm is one of very few fishing spots where you can camp by the water with vehicles, leaving boats in the water safely. This attracts thousands of campers and fishermen to the area and surrounding towns year-round, especially in the warmer months. I find these recent changes to not be a step in the right direction. Well, you're spot on, Jack.
I'm not too sure if it's a change.
Well, hang on. It's in the same direction as the Victorian government's target 1 million Victorian fishing, as it will have a large effect on the number of visitors by restricting campers to the small designated campsites and needing to remove boats from the water when levels are low. So a lot of people, Charlie, when you got the low, the water's down here and the high water's there, they all camp down here. And they leave their boats in.
Yeah, I've done
Why should they have to camp 150 metres from where their boat is? You wouldn't leave it there.
I've been going into that Delatite Arm for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were even hunting deer in there until we found out you weren't supposed to hunt deer in there. Anyway, but there was
Didn't stop in
always
the
the
past.
sign. The signs were, as far as I can remember back, I've been going in here for a long time, 20, 30 years. It was camping above the high water level mark. So I'm not too sure where the information comes from on what area,
it comes
what
from
timeline.
Why would you not be allowed to camp below it? Is there a reason? Is it a safety thing? Is it just a buggerising?
It's a water catchment for drinking water.
In case it filled up in 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, no, it's a water catchment, like we were talking about last week. So it's a water catchment.
Oh,
so
where we've got the only lake in the world where you have to unbolt your petrol motor.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the minister's getting a letter on that.
He's getting off track.
God.
No, but is that
don't get me
why?
started.
So they can't.
Plus the structure that's there as far as those lower lying areas. I mean, you've got timber which acts as great places for fish. No one goes with the chainsaw, cuts it down, burns for firewood.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why.
Did you do that while you were hunting for deer?
Oh no, couldn't have, never. So no, we used to burn up the hills, but. So there's a few things. It's a drinking water thing. But
I was going to say, is that a new rule then?
I don't think it's a new rule. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's a new rule for the
let's get a
Delatite
copy of the Alexandra Standard from the 25th of November and have a look at whether it's a new rule or not.
And send it through. Absolutely, send it to the mobile. Take a picture of whatever.
There you go. Anyway, Jack's going to write to the
That's
minister.
a good one, Jack.
About that. So, if you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
And coming up, the all-important hotspots. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
All right, the all-important hotspots. If you want to head into King George Whiting territory in Port Phillip Bay, I can tell you now, there is no better place right now.
Anthony's Nose Beach.
No, because you can't launch there. The Pinnis Channel out near Mud Island is absolutely teeming with King George Whiting right now. They're all 39 centimetres, fat, teeming. Teeming.
Remind me after this. I'm going to ask you a question about
all right,
this.
no worries. So Pinnis Channel, that's the number one. If you would like a snapper, now tell me if I'm wrong. Has snapper season gone later this year? I mean, they tell me that Patterson River boat ramp was absolutely 100% full last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And snapper everywhere. But doesn't it back off a little bit towards the end of December and everyone goes Christmas shopping and stuff? But it just seems like it's full on.
Good. Well,
full on.
I hope it does continue to go full on because it has been, though there's been plenty of snapper caught, it hasn't been a bad snapper season, but it's been a tad inconsistent. The snapper haven't given us any patterns to work on.
Seasons are a little bit later.
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
So the next hotspot, if you want to go down and for consistency, Mount Martha snapper.
Yeah.
Absolutely full of 5-6 kilo fish.
Deep water. Get amongst it.
Absolutely deep. Very, very deep in Mount Martha. All right, let's head over to Western Port, and we are told that the capital of King George whiting right now is going off. That is the middle spit. Get to the middle spit, top end, so you can get there from Hastings now that they've actually opened it.
Yep.
Because it is boating season. Or Warneet or Eureka if you're lucky enough to have a boat in there. So
going off.
Yep, going off. Over in the other side of French Island is a little island called Elizabeth Island, and you can get to there easily from San Remo or Coronella or Rill.
Yep.
And get to Elizabeth Island, snapper, but I've got to say also some very good gummy sharks.
Gummy
coming
sharks,
from there
yeah,
at
that's
the
right.
moment.
And we saw the school shark
And the
in
school, there's been a few schools
Catch of the
around.
Week. Yep.
Yeah, amazing.
Good area.
This is a place that I reckon, if people haven't fished it, they need to.
Now's the time.
They need to. Devil Bend Reservoir on the Mornington Peninsula. Have a look at this. Estuary perch that was stocked and stocked years ago.
And thriving.
Absolutely. And on these hot summer nights, as the sun goes down on dusk and the insects are all around, those, even a fly or a surface lure, some of the most exciting fishing you will do is at Devil Bend Reservoir.
Grab yourself a couple of poppers.
Yeah, I drove down there and drove around as much as I could to have a bit of a look, and I was surprised. It's a lovely looking.
It is an amazing
nice
place.
flats and things like that.
It's
a fishy looking place.
Could be anywhere in the world, that place.
Yeah,
a couple of poppers, a couple of little walk the dog style lures, fish into the dark. Best fun you'll ever have.
Yeah. Trelly, next one is certainly in your territory, Murchison Murray cod.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of reports from Murchison as far as Murray cod, bait fishing and lure fishing, spinner baits, that type of thing. But remember, you got some of those golden tagged fish there.
Oh,
so
in Murchison?
In Murchison.
In the river?
In the river. Well, in the lake and also in the river down towards Shepparton. So there's $2,000 to $10,000 fish in that area, and it's fishing really good. You know, the flow is down, it's low, and it looks excellent. The clarity's good.
Yep.
Very nice place to go.
A little known fact about Murchison, boys, is that a lead up to, the Australian Open tennis tournament, that's been postponed a little bit, I think, till February. Yep. That one of the lead up tournaments to that will be held in Murchison next year.
Yeah, and just secured a pretty large sponsor too, I saw before, which is good.
The Murchison International will be on. Not sure if they've got a tennis court in the town, but they're going to play on the road, like put chalk down on the road.
Yeah, old school.
But there will be a big comp in Murchison. Yeah, that's big comp. Attracting, from what I've heard, big names to it. Right, so add some. I
had a couple of questions.
Was that it? That's it.
One for the edge. How long? 3 minutes. Okay, so you've got a minute and a half each. So the Pinnis Channel gets talked a lot about that on this show. Do you approach fishing that the same way as you do Western Port? Because we see Western Port as the home of King George whiting. I could make a very valid argument that is kind of changing. Do you need the typical shallow water, tide change, channel edge? What is it about the Pinnis Channel?
The areas where you fish in the Pinnis Channel have beautiful seagrass beds. That's the difference. So it's not actually in the Pinnis Channel's quite wide, and most of it is just sand. But on the edges, there are some really good weedy patches on the Pinnis Channel, and almost it becomes a flat. So it's not actually part of the channel.
And you can see all this. No sounder.
Absolutely. Sometimes the water gets murky out there. But so you've got to have the GPS marks. You can fish anywhere between 2 metres and 8 metres in the Pinnis Channel and catch whiting. So there's no deep areas like Western Port where you might be perhaps in 12, 15 metres catching big King George whiting. You just don't get that. But it's the weedy areas. Some days they're in the shallows, some days they're in the little deeper.
Quick tide, slow tide?
I think a run-in tide is best because the water's sort of running off the sand flats, and I always think it's just taken food into those areas.
Because it is quite tidal down that part of the bay.
Very tight. It can absolutely rip through there. But a run-in tide, I don't know why, is always best.
It's a very interesting place because the fishing there has improved massively over the last 3-4 seasons. So write that down, Pinnis Channel. Charlie, one for you, camping. I got asked a question about camping the other day that I flat out didn't know the answer to.
Yep.
Can you just pull up to wherever you want and roll out a swag or set up your tent and camp for a few nights, or do you have to stick specifically to designated campsites?
It depends on the management of the land, or the management which controls that area.
You got 1 minute, by the way.
So you look at some of the places, say Wilson's Promontory and that type of thing. You've got to book ahead, and you're in number 3,
Yep.
which you get into there and you can't turn your car around with a trailer on it, and they're just so small and it's just really annoying.
Yep.
And then you go to, say, Barmer Forest, where you've got dispersed camping. So it means you can pretty much camp anywhere, as long as you don't drive off the track too far. You drive on the edge of the track and that type of thing, and there's lots of little places you can just dispersed camping. No booking, right? That type of thing. So, answer your question, different land management in different areas controls what you can do how you can camp.
Is that easy information to find out?
Not really. No, not until you get there and you see the bollards and you see the big sign. You got to book in and stuff like that.
Because it is an interesting thing, the camping thing, because you just assume you can just, this spot looks good, or I'll throw the swag in the boat and cruise up and just pull in.
Yeah, Jerusalem Creek's a good one. You go up the arm, you got to camp in the designated areas, phone through, you go up further, you can camp anywhere.
Out of time, Charlie. Yep. That's it. Talking fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week is our last live show for the year, so make sure you watch, because otherwise you have to watch repeats right through January when we come back in February. So until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.